as the guy, start with guiding her hand, right? Using her own hand. The body is afraid that he might touch something he's not supposed to touch, he might move somewhere. But if you are in control, you kind of have this relaxed mindset that you need to practice vaginal stimulation. And when you're doing it, don't just be going in and out, okay? Be circulating. Now, the other thing that I know we do not like to talk about because we are Christians is the fact that, you know, sometimes you might need help. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, you know I love you. You know I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back. All right, so today I want us to talk about doing the do. Yes. And some of the difficulties that comes with doing the do. If you follow me on this channel, you know I am very passionate about, you know, enjoying your sex life as in marriage, and I know that this is not often easy for a lot of people. If you follow my story, you know that I struggled a lot with painful sexual intercourse in my marriage, and I have made it my life's mission to help as many women as possible to enjoy, you know, sex in their marriage. We are focusing more on people who have issues with penetrative intercourse, right? Especially if you're suffering from vaginismus. So for you, some people who don't know, vaginismus is an involuntary spasm of the pelvic wall or the vaginal wall when there is about to be an intercourse. So it's just like when something is approaching your eyes, you don't tell your eyes to blink, your eyes just blinks. Yes, so imagine the same thing happening in your, you know, vaginal area. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to talk about is you need to first of all deal with the mindset. Yes, we'll talk first about the things you need to deal with personally before we go to the practical things you and your partner have to do. First of all, I always say this, if you follow this channel, you know I always say that sex starts from the mind. If your mind is not in a relaxed state, you will struggle with intercourse, right? And a lot of people actually struggle with having anxiety when it comes to, you know, sex. Some people have fears. I've seen comments on my, you know, channel talking about, oh, I am afraid of intimacy, I'm afraid of sex. You know, when you have that fear, you will struggle with anxiety. So the first thing you need to do is to ask yourself, why am I scared? Because if your mind is scared, trust me, your mind will teach your body to resist it. It's like when you are, you know, when a person is about to be raped, you know, once your mind feels like there's a crisis, your body would like normally want to react. It's like someone wants to slap you. The moment you see it coming, your mind is telling you a slap is coming and it's telling you to dodge, right? So once your mind is in that state, and I have a video, I can't remember what it is, what I titled it, I'll look for it and put it somewhere here, about how sometimes our culture, our you know, when you're growing up, your parent tells you stay away from sex is bad and all of that. Some of us have that thought that sex is a bad thing has been imbibed in our head, that even now that we know you're married and you know you're supposed to enjoy it, for some reason your body is not giving in, because all your body sees is when it's sex is danger, right? So yeah, so you need to first of all understand that you need to deal with the mindset. You need to, especially when you're married, you need to tell yourself sex is a good thing, right? You need to, you know, let yourself know. And that's why I always encourage you guys to talk about sex days before your wedding. Yes, not to the point where, you know, you cannot hold yourself anymore, but you know, I have people coming on my comments say, do you have to talk about it? What will happen if you wait? Nothing will happen if you don't struggle with, you know, if you don't struggle with your mindset about, you know, sex. But if you do, you need to talk about it. You need to be comfortable hearing it. You need to feed your mind that, oh, this is a good thing, this is an enjoyable thing. And it comes with talking to your partner. And it's great when you're doing it with your partner, because then you are anticipating it with them, right? And you know, it's just a way of conditioning your mind from what you've been taught to believe about intimacy, right? Okay, so the mind thing is first. The second thing that you have to do is also talk to your partner. And listen, if you're a guy and you know your wife struggles with painful sexual intercourse, the truth is you need to have a lot of patience. You need to have a lot of patience, and you need to learn how to communicate. Communication is the first thing that you need to learn how to do, because communication is what will help you to overcome this. It is very important, right? So you need to talk to him about, you know, maybe you guys have attempted and it's painful. You need to let him know it's painful, and then you need to articulate how you feel. So when you explore your body, we'll get to all of that. You need to let him know, communicate how certain things make you feel, where the pain is, right? Because some men just cannot wrap their heads around it. Like, this is the same place that the head of a baby comes out from. Why is this small thing so painful for you, right? So sometimes you need to educate them. You need to explain to them where exactly you're feeling the pain, and all of that, right? So you need to communicate with your partner. And sometimes men don't get it. Maybe you need to send articles or videos or whatever to them based on what your own spouse responds to, right? Yeah. So anyways, you need to talk to your partner about how you feel. Now let us get into the how to be comfortable, how to navigate intercourse with when you are experiencing pain and all of that. All right, so the first thing I said is you need to get comfortable. Now this is still on you. You need to get comfortable with yourself. Okay, yes, I have spoken about this in previous videos, that you need to get comfortable with your vagina. You need to be able to look at yourself, look at it in the mirror, because sometimes many of us grew up with a hidden shame and hidden like a secrecy. I told you I never looked at my vagina until weeks before, not weeks, like months or a year before I got married. That is when I actually knew what it looks like. Yes, it took me a while to realize that there are two different, like, where the urine comes out from. And yes, I was very, very bad at biology, so don't judge me. Where the urine come out from and where the thing enters, there are two different places. I started to look at it to see why is just explore. Okay, I'm not saying you start to masturbate or anything. I'm saying that get comfortable looking at yourself, get comfortable looking at your vagina. Okay, when you have your bath, put a mirror down there, just examine it. Okay, examine it, just look at it, get comfortable with it. That would really help you when the time comes, because you are kind of getting familiar with how your body is, right? So okay, and then the other thing that I would also advise if you struggle with painful intercourse is there's something called Kegel exercise, right? So when you are looking at your vagina, try to practice Kegel. All right, so Kegel exercise is like, for instance, you want to urinate, right? Sometimes you go to urinate and then you stop in the middle, right? Till you tighten your pelvic muscles to stop, and then you leave it, and then you stop, and then you leave it. It doesn't have to be when you're urinating alone. When you're sitting down, it's something you can practice, right? I'm doing it right now. TMI. Anyway, so you tighten, you leave it, tighten it for like 5 seconds, release it, tighten it for like 5 seconds. You can do that like daily, just to allow your muscles to get used to tightening and releasing, right? You can do that, practice that before your marriage, or even during your marriage. Sometimes you might already be married and you're wondering, or maybe you're already married and you're having such pain. Practice Kegel exercises, right? It will really it would help your vaginal muscles or your pelvic muscles to be used to constricting or contracting and releasing, which is what you will do a lot when you start to have intercourse, right? Okay, the next thing I have here is you have to you have to shift your focus from penetrative sex. Yes, I've said it a lot on this channel. In the last video I released on this channel, I talked about things that I wish I knew about sex before marriage, and one of the things I talked about is foreplay is sex, right? You need to learn that sex goes beyond the thing entering the thing. I've said it a lot on this channel that the thing entering the thing is like when you're having like a wedding, right? You have the guests come in, the party, the food, everything. Then you now have the couples coming in. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but the couples coming in is like the main event, right? They are the host, right? But to be honest, they are just there to entertain the guests. Okay, so the guests, the party, everything is the foreplay. It's the foreplay is the food, it's the entertainment, it's the MC, it's the jokes, it's the joy, it's the laughter and everything. Whilst the couple coming in is like the is the icing on top, it's the cherry on the cake. That's the thing entering the thing. So you need to be comfortable understanding that intercourse does not have to be the thing entering the thing. And basically what that would do for you is you get very, very comfortable in your body. And I tell you, remember I always say that if you're just doing it for the first time, your body is not used to somebody else's body entering into you, so naturally your body will want to resist it. Even when it comes to, you know, him depositing inside of you, the first few days that happens, I remember when when we just started, you know, having penetrative intercourse, the first day that he deposited inside me, I would have diarrhea. Yes, TMI. But it was so bad. I would have different reactions because to my body, this is a foreign object. This is a bad thing. You understand that? Because it's new, right? And for a lot of people, it's just the fact that your body is not used to, you know, sex, is not used to this person, is not used to this. This is like a foreign thing to it. So when you learn to, you know, do all the foreplays, all the kissing, the romancing, the touching and all of that, it will help your body to get comfortable, right? So take your mind away from the penetrative aspect, explore your body, love yourself, right? Yeah, so because sometimes when your mind is stuck on the thing entering the thing, you will end up getting anxious, right? You end up getting anxious such that you're not even enjoying the foreplay, right? So yeah. Now the other thing practical things now that I think would help is you need to practice vaginal stimulation. If you have a very, you know, there are some people, again, remember that I said that the reason why for some people penetrative intercourse is not, it's more difficult for some people than it is for others. For some people it's so easy, they never experience pain and stuff like that. For some people they experience mild pain, some it's severe pain, some it's ridiculously severe pain, right? So depending on where, and again it depends on the thickness of your hymen. We've talked about those here, and then the amount of nerves you have in that area also determines how easy or difficult it would be for you, right? So you need to learn about vaginal stimulation. Yes, you need to stimulate the VJ, right? You and your partner now, you need to learn about vaginal stimulation. Okay, so your partner, when you are doing the playing around, right, when you're having sex without the penetrative aspect of it, you know, learn to stimulate the vagina. And this is where communication also comes into play. You need to let him know when he touches a place that makes you excited, let him know that, oh yeah, I love that, keep doing that, you know, don't stop doing that, stuff like that, right? When he touches something that, you know, makes you shock or makes you tense, let him know that, oh, I don't like the way you strike, the way you stroke it, or the way you swipe or whatever. Just communicate, right? But you need to learn to stimulate you need to learn as a couple to stimulate the vaginal area, especially you the guy, learn to stimulate it, and you the lady, you know, sometimes something that really helped us, you know, because you see, when you are in charge of it, when you're in charge of the movement and everything around the area, it's easier for your mind to be at rest because you trust yourself than somebody else, right? So it's always better that you start as the guy, start with guiding her hand, right? Using her own hand to, you know, guide, hold her hand and use her hand to touch herself, just so that it will kind of give her some kind of relaxation. And it's like letting her know she's still in control. And when you are in control, your mind is relaxed, right? Than when your partner is. So it's like your body is afraid that he might touch something he's not supposed to touch, he might move somewhere. But if you are in control, you kind of have this relaxed mindset. I don't know if you understand, but yeah. Anyway, so you try to use her hand to stimulate herself, and then watch what makes her excited, watch, you know, how she reacts to different strokes and stuff like that. That would really help you to know, okay, this really relaxes her and all of that, and that would come in handy when the main action will happen, which again, don't rush, be patient. Okay, now the other thing that I know we do not like to talk about because we are Christians, and I totally accept your prejudices about it, so you don't need to come to the comment section to tell me about it, is the fact that, you know, sometimes you might need help. Okay, there are devices that has been made to help a woman's vaginal to be stimulated. Yes, I am not talking about getting a dildo or something to replace your husband's, whatever, but they are vaginal stimulators. They are things that they are machines that will help her to be relaxed. That no matter how skilled you are, even in oral or with your hand, you cannot achieve the same thing, because you cannot compete with machine. If your wife or you have an extreme case of, maybe vaginal closure or spasm, try to get vaginal stimulators. Okay, basically they are really small devices that would help you get very, very lubricated down there. I'm not asking you to use it yourself. I'm talking about when the two of you are about to have intimacy. Introduce, when you do the foreplay, introduce it, right? There's a way to help her become relaxed. And when she's relaxed, because remember, this is the mind we are trying to get into, we're trying to condition here. It is her mind, it's not just her body. So the problem that people think, men especially, have with this issue is you think it is her body. It's not her body. It's not the vagina alone. It is the mind. If the mind is relaxed, if the mind is in this place of ecstasy, penetration is so easy, right? And there are stimulators that can help the lady, that can help your wife, being more relaxed. So if there is an extreme case where you've tried every other things and it's not working, maybe give it a try. Okay, give the stimulant a try and see, when she's relaxed, see how easy it will be for you to get in. Okay, all right. Okay, and I am not encouraging using of sex toys that replaces your partner. That I am against. That it's based on you and your conviction with God, but personally I don't believe in that. But there are other toys that does not replace your partner that would help the two of you to make it more relaxing and enjoyable. Okay, all right, so the next thing that I have is you need to practice deep breath exercise. Yes. Especially if you struggle with anxiety when it comes to it, and it is normal. You will struggle, especially if you've tried it the first time and you experience extreme pain. The next time you're about to go into it, you will be fearful. I was like that whenever we're about to start. Hey, in short, when I'm sleeping, whenever I see my husband's hand start touching me, I will sometimes I'll pretend like I'm still asleep even though I'm awake. Just because of the fear, right? And you need to deal with that. And one way to deal with it is to practice deep breath. Okay, when you're about to, when you notice that he's about to go in and you are having anxiety, you can ask him to pause, to wait, and then you take deep breaths. Deep breath is you are not breathing it into your chest, you are breathing into your stomach, right? Hold it in and then you relax yourself. Do that for like a few times, and then it will help you to relax your nerves and the nerves in that area before you proceed into it. So practice deep breath exercises, right? Another thing that I would say is, fingering. I've talked about it. Use your hand always, especially if, sometimes you're about to enter, it's like there's a wall there. All of this I've said, the stimulation and all of that also start with your fingers. I have always said this, let her get comfortable with the finger. If your body, remember, it is the intrusion your body is not used to, right? So start small. Don't start with your thing, okay? Especially if your thing is, you are highly endowed. Please don't start with it. Introduce your vaginal to it little by little. It's like you're trying to introduce solid food to a child who is used to taking liquid food. You have to do it little by little. So start with your fingers, start with one finger. Let her get comfortable. Sometimes that's all you do for a day. That's all you do for a week, depending on how, tense she is. Get to a place where she's so comfortable, her body is so used to that, then go in with a bigger finger, with a larger finger, or with two fingers, right? And then and when you're doing it, don't just be going in and out, okay? Be circulating, okay? Don't just chuck it in and bring it out. No, when you take it in, circulate it around. Make sure that your hand or your finger is clean. I've talked about hygiene on this channel. Make sure your hand is clean, and then you put some lubricant in your hand, especially if she's not wet. Even if she's wet, put some lubricant product in your hand, and make sure you're using water-based lubricant that, you know, does not have alcohol, because alcohol can dry quickly. You know, you use those that are, you know, healthy lubricants. You put it, you know, around, circulate it around, just so that she gets used to it. Then leave it, you know, remove it, do some small romance kissing, romance the clitoris, whatever, go inside again, you know, take it around, remove it, you know, keep on doing that until she's in that place where she's relaxed. And you can tell when she's relaxed. You can tell when if you put it in and she's tense, you will feel it, because it will feel like your hand is trapped. Okay. But you know, when she's relaxed, you know, because you will feel the release, okay, and you will feel the, you know, the oozing of the, you know, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, where were we? So yeah, use your fingers and, you know, move it around. Use that to introduce the fingering and all. And then this other one is so important. When she gets comfortable with fingering, with, you know, stimulators, and you can see that she's getting a little, you know, more comfortable. Again, this is not rushed. This can take you weeks, this can take you months, depending on, you know, her body's and it's not her, okay, it's not her fault. It depends on her body's quickness, or our body's our body's propensity to relax. So yes, it takes more time for some people than it does for other people, so you need to be patient, okay? And listen, like I said, as the guy, there are other ways you can. Don't be so focused on the thing, entering the thing, okay? Relax, take your time. You see, the moment she's relaxed, you will enjoy this thing for the rest of your life, okay? So give her time, give her body time, to adjust to you, okay? So yeah, now the other thing that I would suggest is practice dry humping. Yes, dry humping is you guys practically rubbing your genitals against each other without going inside. Yes, the idea of this is, now you've practiced stimulation, now the hand, she's getting used to little bit of intrusion. The finger, you started with one finger or two finger, and it seems like she's getting comfortable. Now start introducing the two organs to each other. Yes, introduce your own to her own, not necessarily inside, around it, okay? Just introduce it around it, and that's what they call, you know, dry humping, right? So you hump and eat, you know, just whether she's on top or you're on top of her, just, you know, let her go, let her you know, do practice as if you are, you know, doing it without you entering into her. Go and research about dry humping. I'm not asking you to go and watch pornography video. I'm asking you to research articles that explains it in details to you, because I can't do that right here. But dry humping will help basically her mind. So you know, again, we are dealing with the mind, not just the body, right? It's her mind getting used to your thing, right? The shape, the size, and everything. So the more you practice that, and it's satisfying also. Yes, it is satisfying depending on how you do it, okay? So your organ and her organ rubbing against each other, practically you are doing it, but you are not inside of her. Instead, you are on top of her. Yeah, you will feel pleasure, she will feel pleasure, trust me. So do that for a number of time. Whilst do that, and what they call alternate between that and then the fingering, alternate between that and the fingering, and for a while, until her body, you know, gets used to it, settle in and all of that. And then when you do that, now you need to start practicing shallowing. Yes, shallowing basically is you are, you know, going in, but you are not fully going in. Yes, and you have to do this also. See, everything I'm telling you, you can stay on one stage, you can stay on the stimulation for like a week before going to the fingering, for like a week or two before going into the dry humping for like a week, you know, maybe doing the fingering for like a week or two until her body, you go to dry humping. And then I'm talking about people who have severe cases of painful intercourse. We are trying to condition the mind, not just the body. The mind, once the mind is conditioned to see this thing as a pleasurable and a good thing, the body will respond, okay? So where were we? Oh yeah, shallowing. So when you've done dry humping, you've done fingering, our body has gotten comfortable with, you know, little bit of intrusion, the first and the second finger, she has gotten comfortable with it, her body is allowing it. Then you use the stimulator, you use the fingering, you use the dry humping, and then you use shallowing. Yes, so you do it at the same time, not at the same time, but step by step, and then you move to shallowing. I'm not telling you to do it for a week. I'm telling you that it could take that long, but depending on how relaxed she becomes, you know, for some people it will take faster, for some people it will take a longer time, right? But once you know that she's become comfortable with one step, then you move on to shallowing, right? Shallowing is you put only the tip, right? You let only the tip in, you know, little by little. Don't and see. I know that you can get carried away as the guy when the tip is in. You forget yourself. The worst thing you want to do is when she's still trying to get comfortable with the tip, you go and mistakenly put everything inside, because what you are now doing is you are literally putting her whole body in under trauma, and now it's like you have to start over again. My husband is calling. Yeah, so you want to what was I saying? Yeah, so you want to make sure don't go and do accidents and put everything, because now you basically have to start over again. Now you have to, like, because especially if she's having vaginismus, right? It's like you're reintroducing the trauma to her body. Now you are literally telling her body that this is danger, 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 and you don't want that. So basically you need to make sure that, you know, do shallowing for a while, and you see her body will get used to the tip. And when you notice that, okay, she's getting pleasure from the tip, her body is more accepting of the shallowness of the shallow practices, then you now start going, you know, deeper and deeper, little by little. Okay, you go a little bit deeper, let her body get comfortable with it. You go a little bit deeper. All of this can happen in one night, and it can also take a week. Okay, but make sure that she is comfortable, and ask her. Remember what I said about communication. The only way you can navigate this is communicate with her. Okay, how are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Is it okay? Is it painful? Should I go out a little bit? Should I go in a little bit? Can I go in further? And all of that. That is her being in control. She has to be in control, because if she isn't, her body will be in attack mode. But if she is, her body is relaxed, because her body knows that she is in control. Now, talking about control, the next thing I want to talk about is it does not have to be missionary. You need to try other styles, and it's advisable that, you know, you go on top, right? You go on top and then use your hand to control. I think that one helped me a lot, because not for the first time. The first time I can't, yeah, not the first time, because anyways, but you know, subsequently, when I kept experiencing pain, it was easier for me when I was the one controlling how deep, when it enters, and how deep it goes, basically. So you can use your hand to, don't break somebody's hair, so you can use your hand to guide the, you know, penetration, guide, you know, how soon it goes in. When it gets comfortable, you can. When you're on top, you have the ability to control it, and when your body sees that you're in control, your body would relax than when you are giving control to somebody else. Your body will be tensed up. But if you're in control, your body, your mind is more relaxed, because your mind knows that you will not do what will hurt you, right? So, and then you determine how deep it goes. You determine when it has gone deep enough, and all of that. So alternate styles. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised, you'll be amazed. Like, it took us trying different things for me to know, okay, I think I enjoyed this one more than I enjoyed this one, right? Alternate styles, you never can tell, right? Especially styles that like missionary would allow, it's easy for accidents to happen in missionary, because it's free access, it's him going in. But if you're doing like spooning, you know, I'm going to do a video about styles that aids easy sexual intercourse for people who struggle with pain. So look out for that video. If you want that video, let me know in the comment section below. I don't want to do a video that people don't want to watch. And then the last thing I'll talk about, which is definitely not the least, is pray about it. See, God wants you to enjoy sex in your marriage. I've talked about this, I've said this on my, you know, on this channel several times. God wants you to enjoy, to have maximum pleasure when it comes to sex in your marriage. So you pray about it when you're feeling the pain. If you watch the video I did with Miriam, you know, we talked a lot about inviting God. Even the one I did with Sheung, we talked a lot about you know, we talked a lot about, you know, how the Holy Spirit can really give you ideas and help you to navigate it. So pray about it, ask God to help you, to give you wisdom, to tell you what to do. Trust me, God is interested in every single aspect of your life, including your sex life, because he created sex and he doesn't want you to leave him out of your sex life. So if you need help in that area, it says whoever lacks wisdom should ask. If you need wisdom, it didn't say wisdom pertaining career or wisdom pertaining job or wisdom pertaining this. No, it said wisdom generally. If you need wisdom to know how to navigate it, what you need to do, ask him. He will help you, right? Okay, so that's where we're going to end the video for today. Let me know if this is helpful to you in any way. Please share this video. You never can tell who in your timeline is struggling with painful intercourse. Please share this video so that it can get to them. Like and leave a comment. I want to know what you think. Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until we meet again, I still remain Victoria Idele Fash, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.